And we are live, and we have something to tell you. Really funny at the beginning. Should we, Jenny? Should we share this?
Yeah, I think we should definitely share this.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. We were preparing, folks. Let's start with this one. It's really from real life. We were preparing, have a test before the live, and I was preparing, everything around the script and questions. And Jenny was in the studio, and I was talking like crazy. And she joined in the studio, so you don't know the technical issues, but nevertheless, I haven't noticed this fact, and she thought that we start live 1 hour before. And you can say, well, how did you felt?
Oh, I felt so stressed. I just thought, I can't believe it. I've got the time wrong. And because you sounded so very polished, Ivan, I just thought, oh my gosh, we're live. And I've been looking after my little girl all day. So I was hardly dressed, hair wasn't brushed, and I was climbing up the stairs on my knees and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But anyway, it was all good. It's just because this guy is such a professional. It was just so smooth. Even the tech rehearsal was so smooth. It could have been good enough to be live. Anyway, we're here and
We are
we're
here,
live.
yes, of
It's all
course.
good.
So officially, hello to everyone, and welcome to another episode of AI Tourism Talks. My name is Ivan Ivanovic, and I run, obviously, this LinkedIn Live. I'm your host tonight, where I bring travel and travel tech people together to share practical ideas that improve content, visibility, and results. And why not bookings, right? So if you use AI for copy, this is a question for the audience. If you use AI for copy, what's your biggest issue right now? Voice, let's say sameness, or conversions? So please drop your questions in the comments while we are actually having the session. And of course, before that, drop from where you're attending the live. We will be really happy to see from where you are attending. We have, for the moment, Amin. I cannot pronounce the last name, sorry, mate. We know you're from LinkedIn, but last name is really hard for me. So that would be it. Today we are talking actually about really important topic, about really a real problem in travel marketing. I would say, Jenny, if you agree, it's not only in travel, it's in every industry now, and that is AI content is everywhere, and that's a fact. But a lot of it sounds generic and does not convert, which is more important. So I have the greatest honor and really great pleasure to have our guest. And I would ask for the audience here, we have already audience here, to put a clapping hands emoji here for my guest, Miss Genevieve White. It's really a great pleasure to have you here. And Genevieve helps tour operators, just to introduce you a little bit about her experience. She helps tour operators, travel brands, write copy that connects with the right travelers and turn connections into bookings. So people, this is the right person, right person for you. She specializes in story-led email, newsletter, and website copy, if I'm not wrong, hopefully. She's also a host of 2 Pro Talks, where I had the opportunity also to be an honor to be a guest last year, and she writes a club campion. So Jenny, a warm welcome for you, and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me, Ivan. It is so weird being on the other side of things because normally with my LinkedIn Lives, I'm the one doing, the presenting job. And I can't decide if it's more relaxing being the guest or a little bit more nerve-wracking being the guest. I haven't decided that yet, but I'm loving it. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. That was actually my first question. How is it to be on the other side, so to say?
Well, I think when I know I'm in your kind and capable hands, it's really a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you very much. Let's see who is joining. Anne Mackenzie, voice does not always sound like me. Great. Steve Maturi, my friend from LinkedIn. Hello, Steve. Hello, Amin. Yes, from Pakistan. Great to have you. Great to have you, sir. Jennifer from Kenya. It's excellent to have you here, Jennifer. It's a great pleasure. All the way from Kenya. Gabi here from Brazil. Oh, really, really international audience. And we have Sarah from Paris. Yes, glad to see you and impatient to learn from both of you. Thank you. Thank you for this. So we will continue with our session and with our conversation. Genevieve, I call you Jenny. I hope that's right.
Jenny is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the first question, of course. Can you tell us in one sentence what makes travel copy feel human?
Okay, this might be a long sentence. So just picture some dashes going on here to split it up. Okay, so travel copy sounds human when it sounds like a friend who knows you well, but not necessarily you well, because we're all different and we all have different types of friends and we all have different dreams and aspirations. So if I want you to think of your dream traveler, your ideal traveler who you're writing for, and good travel copy sounds like their friend and somebody who understands them. And I know that was a little bit longer than a sentence, forgive me, but that's what you're aiming for.
But it was a lovely and actionable and really thoughtful sentence. Sentences. Okay. Okay, the next one would be, where do you spend most of your time with clients? In email copy, website copy, or both, or somewhere third?
It's probably both. I'm still doing a lot of website work for my clients, and sometimes this website work leads to emails. Recently, I've been doing, I'd say, more and more email work, probably because I absolutely love it and it gets great results. So yeah, but probably still about maybe 60-40 kind of balance with maybe websites about 60, emails about 40. Yeah.
I can confirm you, people, if you are not on the email list of Jenny's, you should be. You must be.
Oh, thank you.
It's perfect, really. An awesome storytelling, of course, as a great copywriter, and awesome information also.
Thank you. I have a lot of fun writing my emails. So I'm glad you enjoy them, even.
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
Sure. Okay, the next one would be, what's the number one mistake? Okay, you can, of course, number them several if you want, that you see travel pros are making when they use AI for copy. It doesn't have to be only one.
Yeah, no, I think there is a real number one mistake, and I think that mistake is that people don't give AI enough material to work with. The more you give AI, the better a job it can do. And I think that people think, okay, I'll just, people give AI very little in the way of information. They give AI a very general prompt, something like, it can be something maybe as general as, I'm a tour operator based in London doing walking tours. And then, write me an Instagram post. And then AI spits something out. And because it looks grammatically correct and it's well spelt, and at first glance they think it looks okay, they go with that. And the result is something that is very generic. So yeah, that is my number one mistake, that people aren't giving AI enough to go with. And yeah, this was supposed to be one, but I think leading on to number two, and then just accepting it. just accepting what AI has given you without really doing anything. And because I think there's almost like a bit of an elephant in the room thing going on sometimes with AI. So they think, oh, nobody will notice, they'll think it's me, they'll think it's my post and I've written it. Just because nobody is coming to you and saying, hey, you're writing all these AI generated posts, what's going on? It doesn't mean they don't notice. And you probably will be noticing eventually, because your conversions won't be that great if you are just completely relying on AI and not doing anything with it, not doing anything with its output. The best analogy I can think of it would be a little bit like if I went out tomorrow and got some really great Botox to get rid of all my wrinkles, and lift my face up a little bit. You'd notice I'd done it. You'd notice I look different, but you wouldn't be like, "Hey, Jenny, what have you done with your face? You've had Botox," because that'd be a bit rude. So yeah, people do notice if you're just writing AI generated content and not doing anything with it. So that's my top 2 mistakes.
They are really great, or to say they are really bad. They're really bad because I know that from my experience working with travel brands, now I work more with travel tech, as you already know, and it's not better, too much better, but in a way because people are not leveraging, I don't know, that's not the best. Sorry, you're a copywriter. They are not using AI in the best way, and we know about they're using it really like on a free tier of any tool, let's say ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever. And they're just putting one prompt and going with that, and they're ruining and they're putting like the whole blogs, blog posts, website copy, everything without any editing, without adding your voice, with anything. And one of the brands, of course, not mentioning names, told me it's better to put anything than not to put any stuff on my website. And I said, no, this is the biggest mistake that you can make, because you're ruining your positioning, you're ruining your brand, not only visibility, but as a brand, you're ruining your brand totally. You sound like everybody else, especially in travel. They like to put the same, many visuals which are more or less the same, and then they put this almost the same copy, and they go with it, and they are pushing, and this is the first mistake to do it. I mean, with AI specifically, or also without AI. But now we are mentioning AI, and there are workflows that we will touch tonight and or today, whatever, how to use it in a better way. So let's continue in this sense with the next question. What are the biggest tells that something is AI written in travel marketing that you can say?
Okay, so there's a few things, even. First of all, I think there's a telltale blandness to it. It lacks any specific details. So, you could get a piece of content that's describing a beach in, a Mediterranean beach in France, in the south of France, but it could just sound like any beach anywhere, or an experience, a food tour, for example, but it would pretty much sound like anywhere. So I think that is the first thing. Just zero specificity is probably the first telltale giveaway. There's also a very formulaic structure with AI writing. Now, the thing is, this is where it gets a bit tricky. AI is basically, sort of scraping the internet a lot of the time for good examples of things. So, you know, it's internalized. You know, a good copywriting structure is like a hook and then some bullet points, and then a call to action. But it does it in a very, you know, formulaic way. It doesn't mix it up. It's just, yeah, you just see the same structure all the time, and it just gets so repetitive that people just switch off. So there's lack of specificity, structure. And then the third thing is, and this is probably one of the biggest giveaways, is just these very telltale words and phrases. And in travel, that comes up with, comes out through real travel cliches like hidden gems. That's one that's a real favorite. Authenticity. There was a very interesting discussion elsewhere of LinkedIn about that word authenticity and authentic, which I saw the other day. But I mean, what I mean, it uses words like that, and it doesn't. It uses the words, but it doesn't really show what these words mean, and it doesn't link it in any way to the specific context. Sentence structures. So it uses the same kind of sentence structures over and over again. So it will say something like, whether you're a ... or a ... this is for you. Or it's not X, it's Y. So you see these same structures coming up again and again. It's absolutely obsessed with the power of three, where you always, when you have a list, it's always three things. So, you know, Italy is, you know, three adjectives. It's, you know, exciting, exotic, and something else. So it's always three things. Now, again, this is a recognized rhetorical structure. You know, we call it the power of three because when you have three things together, it makes it more powerful and memorable. But AI tends to go completely over the top with it, so that you look at a piece of text and it's like three things here, three things there, three things there. And it just doesn't know, when to stop. And real people don't speak like that. Not all the time. It's not like that really kind of full-on rhetoric. And then maybe my last thing, because I've said quite a lot now, is it's always with AI content, before you edit it, it's always really long, and it repeats itself quite a lot. So, you know, if I see like a really long post, I'll immediately get a little bit suspicious, and I'll think, and then I look at it, and sure enough, there's bits and pieces, there's sentences and phrases that keep kind of cropping up. The same thing is basically being said again and again. So that's another telltale sign. I think I've covered the main offenders now.
Absolutely. I'm also applying as guilty here. You know that I use AI, and I'm a consultant in travel and tech. So I use AI, of course. I want to share with the audience here something about using AI. Of course that we are using AI now. It was not like that even last year. But now it's becoming more and more often. Even it's not adapted. People are still afraid of these tools. They should be educated. They should. So, sorry, we had a guest, so they are leaving from Budapest here in Hungary. They are leaving. So without AI, I have to tell them where to get out from the subway. Not using AI.
Can't use it for everything.
Yeah. But anyhow, we are using artificial intelligence. Just to clarify once again, people are used to this term AI now, but we are using it for decades. Let's be clear. Google Maps, Google itself, everything is already AI based, so to say, right? But these tools that we are using now, LLMs particularly, like large language models, and there are also small language models, by the way. And I just heard one really interesting, if you don't mind, one really interesting fact from NVIDIA CEO. I cannot remember that right now the name. He's one of the most important person in the world right now. You know him for sure. He told in the last interview, one of the last interviews, there are 1.5 tools at the moment on the planet. 1.5 million tools.
Oh, 1.5 million. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't say the full the number. Sorry, 1.5 million.
Wow,
tools.
That's incredible. Wow.
That's because they know that they produce chips, right?
Yeah.
And what I wanted to tell you and to the audience, how do you, in the best possible way, the momentum, how you use, how you can leverage. Let's use this word, even though it's not, it's AI word. You should put as much data as you can in your model. That means your market research, competitive research, your market analysis, your brand guidelines, tone of voice, style, everything. And I can confess you, Jenny, this is not enough. What I do, I have been explaining in your show when I was a guest, I speak to AI. So audio makes it a bit different, not a bit, there is a large portion when it makes a difference, but of course it has to know the context around you, your brand, what are you selling, offering, whatever. And even with those workflows, and they are really complicated, I have to say, I'm fighting with AI to write in my tone of voice because it uses, the structured information, as you already mentioned, and only experienced eye, as you are, can notice this. For example, somebody can notice in my content that I'm using AI. But of course, I'm editing as much as possible, sometimes more, sometimes less, to be honest and transparent. But I'm talking to AI, and there is a way to do it in several ways, not to waste too much time. Plug in your mic and then talk to it, not the voice option within the LLMs, the plug-in mic, and then you talk like to a person, but actually to a digital assistant.
So is that?
What do you think about that?
So, yeah, I think I've done this, but I want to check that I've used the plug-in mic and I've not been doing it wrong. So is that like, say with Claude, it's got the little bit at the bottom, and then there's a mic, and you press that mic and you speak directly to it. Is that what you're talking about, or
no? There is there are several. There are several options, but that's one option. And of course, you can use it simultaneously in several tabs. So you can work on several tasks. Also, you can use it on several devices simultaneously on your mobile, right? On your mobile device, on your desktop. And you can talk when you plug in the mic. So not the voice option, because the voice option can break or it doesn't remember, and then something happens. And for forgetting to say, it sometimes it can be really stupid. And there is also one, it's not mine, from other creators who are really proficient in AI. You should be rude to AI.
Okay.
It sounds strange. You should be rude if you want to make really great results. And also there are many workflows around it, not to spend too much time, because we should use your knowledge, your experience in copywriting, but we are exchanging information about how to
really
use
interesting. AI. Yeah, I think I have been rude to AI a few times. I don't know if it was intentionally rude. was more just because I was getting frustrated with it. But I did actually, I think you're right, because I did notice afterwards that it got a little bit better. Because, and I've heard a lot of people say this, and it's definitely true. AI is like your cheerleader, and it's like every time you write something, it doesn't have to be that great. And it's like, oh, Jenny, this is amazing. Oh, you're on fire tonight. And then if you actually say to it, look, can you stop that nonsense? I don't need it. Can you be more critical? Like, and it does, and you can get it to really change its tune and change its way, and that's what you need. You don't want the cheerleader version of AI, because apart from giving you a nice little ego massage, it's not going to do anything for your writing. So get it to, tell it, look, stop. Stop flanneling. Just give me the truth. Give me what I need to hear. And I find as well with people, if they've written something, or if they've got something, they often know deep down that it's not quite right, and they'll have an idea. So maybe there was I can't remember your name, sorry, was it Anne at the beginning of the chat there said that she often felt her voice wasn't right. I mean, even we're going to be talking more about voice later on, hopefully, if we've got time. But if there's like a specific element that you think, I'm not sure about that, ask for feedback and say, tell me the truth, I can take it. And then it will give you a lot better feedback than if you hadn't asked for it directly.
Yeah, to be more specific, there are prompts for this. People can go online and just ask, type. Also, you can get a prompt from the AI, from the LLM, from the chatbot, from the whatever you're using. I mean, there are other tools, not only LLMs, for copywriting. So you should ask the AI. It sounds really strange what it thinks about it. Also, there are prompts to make LLM, specifically the chatbots in this particular case, even though now they say Claude is not more anymore chatbot. I don't believe in this, to be transparent. Of course, they have improved it, and there are always a competence between big players. But there are prompts to do it, and you put the prompt within the settings, and then it doesn't please you anymore so much.
So it's just
that's the flow.
You're not even going to have to remind it to be.
You don't have to remind it.
It's just going to be, I like that idea. Yeah. You should be able to switch it off, though, because sometimes if you're feeling a bit fragile, you're having a bad day, you just want it to be nice.
You can do whatever. I'm just how to get proper results. Okay. We can
discuss. There's some good comments coming up as well.
But there are still more questions. So what's the real damage of generic copy, in your opinion? Trust, conversions, or brand voice?
So all three, I would say, and they're linked, obviously. Trust, first of all. I heard somebody speak about, now what was it? Was it a trust recession the other day or something? It was some word like that, but it was basically we're all kind of experiencing this kind of loss of trust, I suppose. And a big part of that has to do with AI, because when we see an image, we don't know if it's a real image. When we see a beautiful hotel, we don't know if it really exists. It could just be AI generated and all that stuff. So we kind of basically struggling now to trust, and our customers are a lot less trusting than they used to be, completely understandably. So how do you get people to trust you? Well, I think you have to show that you are human. And you do that by sounding like a human and connecting with your travelers, with your guests in a human way. And sometimes that means showing that you're not completely perfect. Sometimes it means being a little bit vulnerable or relatable. But it's going past that kind of very flattened out, polished perfection that unedited AI offers, and showing something more human, which is basically what we're talking about today, how to humanize what AI gives you. Now, if you are not connecting with your ideal travelers or clients, sure as heck you're not going to be converting or getting bookings either. So these two things really go in hand. I always think of conversion as being a byproduct of connection. I mean, sure, it's conversion is what we're all wanting. We need to put food on the table. We need to put clothes on our backs. But we have to connect. And actually, the connecting part is a lot of fun because we're humans and we love to connect, and that is what being a human is all about. And the other thing that really suffers with generic copy, and I think this is a really important thing, is standing out. If you are using undoctored AI, unedited AI, and you haven't given it enough prompts, enough information about yourself, you're just going to sound like everybody else. You're going to be immediately forgettable. You're not giving anybody any reason to choose you over anyone else. And also the copy isn't filtering the right people. It isn't deterring the right people. It's not really doing anything. It's just words on a page, on a screen.
Absolutely. Amazing advice and amazing insights from your side, I would say, as always. The next one
you're
would
such
be...
a charmer. You're so lovely. I could talk to you all day.
Yeah, but I talk really transparently and honestly. You know me already. Which fundamentals matter most in travel copy in your point of view?
Okay, I made a list of 4. So we're getting away from that power of 3 that I spoke about earlier.
Okay.
I actually don't really like I don't really like even numbers, but anyway, 4 we've got. Voice, something I bang on about a lot. So voice is so important. People should be able to read even just a few lines of something you've written and think, okay, without knowing that's so-and-so, that's this brand or that's this person, because your voice should be recognizably yours or recognizably your brand's. Specificity, I actually hate saying that word. It's such a difficult word to say, but it's really it's really tricky. It's so important because that's really what brings your copy to life. It takes away the blandness, the boringness, and it's okay. This is specificity. This can only apply to my business, my guests, my destination, my experience, and to me as a person and as a small business. Proof. It's all very well me waffling on and saying how great I am and how great my experiences are, but the best thing you can do is offer proof. What do your guests think? How do they feel about you? How's their experience been? How's it changed them? So all of that proof and getting that proof out and in full view as often as you can and weaving it into your stories is really, really important. And story, I just said it, story. We are just conditioned as humans to respond to storytelling. I love storytelling. I love what it can do. I love what it can do for travel brands. I love telling stories. I love listening to stories. And I don't think I'm alone in that. We all love to hear a story and connect. And storytelling is one of these buzzwords, I think, that is used a lot in marketing, and a lot of people don't really always know exactly what it means, or they don't feel confident in doing it because they think, I'm not a writer, or they think that it has to be some big kind of narrative. Storytelling is just giving people a glimpse into who you are. It's giving them something that they can relate to and put themselves in the narrative. And that is ultimately one of the most important things you can do in travel copy. You're inviting people, your readers, your guests, into your world to become part of the narrative.
Excellent. Actually, I would say it in a really plain way. Storytelling, at least for my generation, let's say over 50, to be honest.
Mine too.
I can say it. It's like our grandfathers and grandmothers used to tell us stories of also parents, especially coming originally from Balkans, Montenegro, and Republic of Serbia. Over there, storytelling really still exists
Mm.
in a daily life, not only to elderly people, but also to it's a part of the culture,
Yeah.
especially because we have kafanas, old cafes. They are like institutions, and
Mm.
people go there and spend all night a little bit drinking. Over there it's allowed to smoke. Here in Hungary, no. Luckily for me and my family, because they don't like it. But storytelling is, in plain words, like we used to grow up with stories from our family, for example, and just translate this into your business, and you will win. I believe in this.
I've just gone
Okay.
into a dream thinking about these places you were talking about where people tell stories and into the night. It just sounds so lovely. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everyone though, even if you have the most like humdrum, you know, existence, no matter where you live, at the end of the day, your partner or whoever will say, "Hey, how was your day?" And you'll tell them. And essentially, that's what we do every
Yeah.
day. We tell stories at work. We tell stories
Absolutely.
after work, and so on. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a cup of tea. I've got a frog in my throat.
Yeah, for sure. I will wait for you and ask you the next question. Obvious, if you are ready.
Okay, I'm all good. I was just speaking a bit too
Okay.
much there.
Yeah, of course. What are your top 3 copy principles AI can't replace? This should be
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah. Um, so first of all, we've spoken about stories. Now, obviously, you can give AI stories, you can tell AI your stories, but unless you do that, it can't replace your stories because it doesn't know you, it doesn't know there's all these little details, these little moments you've had. And I mean, that's what I tell my clients a lot when we're telling stories. It's focus on moments, little moments. They don't have to be, you know, amazing dramatic moments. Just take people to a moment that sums up what you offer and really explore it and show what it's like in a sensory way. And AI can't, it's not psychic. It can't, not yet anyway. It can't
Not
get
yet.
into your mind and extract all of these details and see the world the way you see it, because that's what makes us all so special. It's perspective. It's the way we see things. So it can't take away, it can't replace your perspective and your stories and your experiences and your customers' experiences as well, your travelers' experience. Because when I'm talking with my clients and they tell me their customers' experiences so that I can then take them away and make them into stories, it's like, wow, these stories are amazing. And I could never in a million years have made up these stories, because the best stories are just like, they're so unique, so specific that you couldn't make them up. And I'm sure like the audience here today, who are all, working with travelers and guests, they will have stories that as well, just like these wonderfully unique stories that nobody could make up. The second thing that I think is really important to speak about, and something that I speak about a lot, is voice. And for me, that is just so important, to hold on to your voice. Now, you might be thinking, what do I even mean by voice? Your voice is just the way you speak, the way you sound when you speak. It's the words you use.
As a human, you.
As a human, yeah. I mean, that's what I would. Yeah, that's a tangent. I'll speak about that later. It's the words you use, the way you talk, the words you don't use. Like if you've got any pet peeves, words that you don't use, then they're not to be in your copy. It's your tone, whether you sound dry or excited or enthusiastic or a little bit more reserved. It's all of that. It's I often talk about idiolect. So your dialect, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
specific to where in the world you are and where you live, but your idiolect, everybody has a different idiolect, and that is made up of, you know,
Super
the
strange
words
word.
you like to use. Yeah, just like, yes, strange little words you use, words you've picked up from different places, from maybe interests that you have, and it's really, really important that that voice comes across in humor as well, because humor is a really big part of voice. And
Absolutely.
I think it will be a really sad world if we start relying on AI to make each other laugh, and I don't even know if that'll work. So you have to bring
Yeah,
your
yeah,
own
yeah.
humor and what you think is funny to the table. And yeah, here we go again. I've said it before, and it's my least favorite word to say. Can you say it for me, Ivan? I'm struggling. I keep
Specificity.
managing. Thank you. Yes,
Specificity.
that's the one.
Yeah.
So it's these details, these little details that only you can really know about, because they are
Absolutely.
so unique to
Absolutely.
what you offer.
Absolutely.
So yeah, these are the things.
I have a quick note for the audience here and also for the replay afterwards. Comment human if you like to get in the chat here or afterwards, whenever. And Jenny will share the free resource she had prepared after the session specifically for this LinkedIn Live. And believe me, it's worth your commenting, so to say. So there are some questions more, but we are running out of time because you have something to share with the audience, right?
Oh, I do.
But
I'd almost
yeah,
forgotten. I do. Yeah.
I would like this one also to ask you, what does your human first, AI second workflow, because we have promised this to the audience, look like in simple steps? And
And the simple
try
steps. Okay.
to keep it shorter now.
Okay. So basically, it's really simple, because first of all, it consists of you giving AI everything you can that will tell it about you and your business. So I think, first of all, I would put in reviews that your customers and travelers have given you. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by all of the humans coming up in the comments. I'll take
We
them
have
away.
human.
So copy all of the reviews, because that's sometimes a really important way of finding out what your travelers value. And the words, a good principle of copy is that we try to use the words as well that our customers use, that our travelers use. So if
Yeah.
they're talking about something, you almost want to reflect that back at them, because then it feels like you are reading their mind. So yeah, reviews, any other like guest correspondence you have, like for example, emails or messages, copy that all in. Even if you have like some transcripts of calls and you've asked for their permission to copy that in as well, that can be really good, because that gives you a lot of insight into your guests' pain points and aspirations. So get all of that down and get it in there, and then ask AI, prompt AI with questions like, what have you found out about my ideal traveler or guest? What are their pain points? What are their aspirations? Ask it to highlight particular phrases and words that come up again and again. So that's first of all what you should do, so it knows lots about your guests. And then you need it you need to tell AI as much as you can about your voice and how you want to speak. So even if you're not a writer, you'll have loads of examples of your writing. You might not immediately think you do, but you can share emails with it that you've written, you can share messages, and then you can ask AI to analyze, are there particular words that keep coming up, analyze your sentence structure, is there a particular kind of punctuation mark that I'm very fond of, spelling preferences, obviously British and American, and then, so that's your voice. You can also at this point tell it any words you definitely don't want it to use. So I saw Sarah in the comments there saying she absolutely abhors the use of quietly in AI text. And yes, Sarah, I would agree with you. And any topics that you really wouldn't want to post about, or write about, so you can give it particular parameters as well. And then so you give AI basically all of this information, and then you give it a very specific prompt. So you ask it, say you want it to write you an about page, for example. You would ask it to write you an about page, but you would give as much detail as you possibly can. I mean, the more you can give AI, the better the output is going to be. So, if you've got any like specific origin story or anything like that, and this is also where it comes in really handy to use the microphone, the plug-in microphone feature that Ivan was speaking about, because it will really get a sense of how you speak and your voice. So it will come out with that. And then once you put the prompt in, you get the first draft. Very important. This is a first draft, and you will need to make changes. Then you edit ruthlessly. You think about all the things we've spoken today. We think about voice, you think about specificity, but I mean, hopefully it'll already have a lot of specificity because it's got that great material, you fed it, but you will definitely look through it for voice, for structure, for sentence structure. You'll need to look at any, like, you'll need to check it for accuracy, because it does sometimes I don't know, hallucinates and puts strange things in you haven't said. Yeah.
I would summarize this part because we're losing time now in 3 words: user-generated content, UGC, right? So leverage, use whatever word you want to use it, user-generated content, because nobody can say those words instead of you. When you use the content or the feedback from your users, that's a win-win already situation, right? So
absolutely.
I have only, because everything you're saying is really pure gold, but we are running out of time. I have one.
Yeah.
Before
we are. Gosh.
There are a lot of
fast.
comments. There are a lot of comments
Okay.
here. And just one sentence, if you can. Do you prefer scratch or cleaning up your rough draft?
Sorry, I lost you for a minute there. Could you repeat the question?
Do you prefer AI from scratch or cleaning up your rough draft?
Cleaning up my rough draft.
The draft,
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it's like I said at the beginning, if I pretty much give AI something that I feel is like all my kind of heart's in there and all my stories in there, and then say, like, sort it out, tidy it up, give me feedback, I think I'm going to get a much better result than if I just said, do me this.
Great. And now we have we want to do a fun part. You're going to show us a quick live demo. It has to be quick now. But so taking an AI draft and making it sound real fast, I will add it to the stage here, and you have a floor and make it.
Okay, I shall make this super snappy. Okay, so I have, just to say, just so you're not like panicking, I have got something very similar in the resource that I can share with you. So don't worry about taking notes too much. This is just to give you an idea. So on this first slide here, this is a fictional tour operator, and she has asked AI, she's given it a very rough prompt to come up with some about page copy for the food tours she leads. So she's maybe shared her name, the fact that she leads food tours in Paris, and she's maybe given it something else, like I've always loved food. But she's given it very, very limited prompts. And here what we have something which I've highlighted all the bits that I think are not quite good enough. I lead food tours through the heart of Paris. Doesn't really tell us much, doesn't really tell us what her guests are getting from the experience. She says her love for food began in childhood, watching simple ingredients turn into something magical. Giselle. Okay, on the face of it, that's a nice sentence, but it's not very specific. I'm not getting a picture. I'm not smelling the food. There could be much more sensory stuff going on here if she'd provided it with a better prompt. In Paris, food is more than a meal. It's culture, history, and passion. Again, it's these kind of sweeping statements, and it's the power of 3, and it just seems a bit like, I don't know, generic. Hidden gems is underlined in the second paragraph, and that is a very obvious travel cliche, and an authentic taste of the city. I mean, at this stage, I'm looking at this line and I'm thinking, could pretty much be anywhere,
Anyway,
anywhere in the world. Along the way, I share the stories and traditions behind every bite. Again, this isn't really giving me a sense of what she does. I feel like I don't know anything about her. And then the last line is just AI blancmange. Join me to experience Paris like a local through its flavors and its heart. I don't even know exactly what that's trying to say. So, you know, I am not going on her tour. She has done nothing to connect with me. So, so then I want you, in a minute or two, we're going to move on to the second slide. And so Giselle went away and had a bit of a think and thought, oh, I can't really use this. This is not very good. And she went away and she gave it a more detailed prompt. She shared some reviews from some guests. And what I'm going to show you next is still not perfect, but it is getting there. So if we could move on to the second slide, please.
actually,
Oh, can we
actually,
not move on?
you
Oh, is it
have to
me who
do.
has to move on to the
Yeah,
second slide? Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there we go. Aha, right. There we are. Okay, so now this is looking a little bit better because she's mentioned very importantly what the guests tell her. So immediately we're getting a sense of, okay, we've got that little bit of proof and we've got a story. I would maybe even consider, if I was Giselle, opening with this, you know, putting that up top, and she could introduce herself later because I think this is so important. So I like the fact that she's got a direct quote. If you see this bit here is highlighted, conversations flow, stories are shared, and a warmer, more personal side of the city appears. We're still doing that listy list of 3 thing. And again, I think what she could have done here is maybe picked out a specific moment, because this is all very general. So she could have thought of one particular conversation, one particular moment, and she could have written about that. And again, if you don't feel comfortable with that, you can just tell the story to AI using the plug-in mic that Ivan was talking about, and you can, it's actually quite good at pacing narrative, so you could end up
Yeah.
with something quite good. And then yeah, look, so this food bit is now better. We've got a bit of sensory detail. Garlic sizzling in olive oil, tomatoes sweet and bright, thyme crushed between her fingers. All a lot more sensory. Personally, I think it's a little bit over the top. It's gone for that 3 thing again. I maybe just have the one of them, pick one of them. The thyme crushed between her fingers is a really nice image. And the last line still needs a bit of work. I can't wait to help you discover Paris through its flavors and its heart. I think she could definitely strengthen that. She could go back to maybe to bring in another guest story or something, or a guest impression, to end this with a real sense of how her tour is different. But we're really still, so a lot better, I think you'll agree, than the first, but
Absolutely.
we could definitely improve this a little bit further. Now, to finish off this little presentation, this is, I mean, obviously your copy and your context is going to be very different from Giselle's. So this is a little checklist that you can have a look at anytime you, you know, you've got some copy, you've used AI to generate some copy. You just work through these questions, and I think they will really help you. So do these words speak to your ideal traveler? Specificity again. Oh yeah, this is really important, this third point, the leave to breathe test. I think we've probably all written something and we're tired and we just want to post it. But actually, if you've got the luxury of like an overnight, just leave it to breathe, and guaranteed when you come and look at it in the morning, you'll be like, oh, oh, that sounds very robotic, and you'll edit it. Sometimes you just
Amazing. I have to say, amazing expression. Live to breathe. So much juicy in this, right?
Yeah, it's so true though. It's been copy free from the following. So a really good rule of thumb is if you wouldn't say this to your friend, if you wouldn't say it in conversation, if you wouldn't say it in conversation to a guest or a traveler, don't use it in conversation. Now, Ivan gets a special pass because he does use leverage in conversation. Anyway, but so it's if it's a natural word for you to use, that's fine. But if it's not a natural word for you to use, don't use it. It should just sound like your natural voice. Yeah, check for stale travel cliches. And I'm sure you could find lists of stale travel cliches online if you're not sure what they are,
Yeah, sure.
and check your sentence structures as well. So hopefully that will that checklist will help you just if you're not feeling quite confident once you've
Absolutely,
got your copy
absolutely.
there and ready to
So,
go.
folks, you have it here. Also in the replay, you will have it, so you can use it properly. I will now remove it.
Okay.
And we are back. So let's go because we are almost for 1 hour. And
How did that happen?
Yeah, really, just like that. At least for me. I don't know for the audience.
Really?
Yeah, really, it's
Oh,
great.
they still seem to be here. They're still standing.
Yeah, they're here. They're here from Italy. They are here from Miami, Sylvia, and also our friend Martin is here. We don't have enough time, but
Sarah, this is so true. This is so true. This quiet and quietly.
Yes, of course. A second, wait a minute. Anne says a second prompt for me is often not so many adjectives. Yeah, okay. There is also Martin saying here, I think most of us are using, of course, we are. Also, I'm now using my writing skills to write very specific prompts, right? This is good workflow. Does Jenny think this will give my stories a more personal slant? I don't even know this word to it, rather than an obviously AI generated story. Can you?
Absolutely, Martin. Absolutely, yeah. If they're your stories, and I know you have got so many amazing stories to tell, then yes, it will so much better than anything AI can come up with. I mean, absolutely. Always share your own stories with AI.
Amin says this number puzzles everyone. Okay, he's thinking about the 1.5 million tools. Yes, that's how it is. Would you recommend, Betsy said, would you recommend a good tool as a starting point for detailed prompts? A good tool.
That would be a question for you, maybe, Ivan.
Yeah, but I mean, a good tool is any LLM, if you like, but please just pay for $20 per month because people don't want to pay. And then you don't have this, for example, in ChatGPT, you have projects and you have custom GPTs, small programs. I don't know how fluent the audience are, but you can make a small program within the, this is only in ChatGPT. Unfortunately, I don't have anything about promoting them. There is no way, but the only way to do it is to make a custom GPT around your project. Then you can feed it with, PDFs, your documents, etc., instructions, master prompts, so-called, and then you can use it on a much higher level, so to say. Of course, other tools have other. Now Gemini has Jams, Claude, but you should research. There is not the best tool. There is the best workflow for you, and you should iterate as much as possible. And there are many others. Sarah says, as Intel is something is. Sorry, as Intel is it as Intel is something stupid or proper insult. Oh, she means to the AI.
Yeah, how rude can you be to the AI?
You can whatever you like, but you will be banned from not banned like not to be able to use it, but if you like swear, for example, or just say bad words, it will reply that you should be more careful, because
Also,
it won't cooperate with you.
I think
Really,
we should all be
should try.
nice. We should all be nice to AI, because one day when it takes over the world, it'll come and it'll find all the people that were nasty to it, and we'll have to work for it as slaves.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. You know, there is a fact. This is a fact. We already broke all the records for the lie. Nevertheless, no, really, seriously. There is a case now. AI is engaging humans. Do you know that?
oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I
But
heard about it, but I did.
totally
Yeah,
another topic. Let's go to the comments.
yeah. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I mean, said losing the trust using with AI 100%. Now, sir, there is two ways, my way or highway. I'm just kidding. No, it's it's from Reservoir Dogs. Who knows the movie? Really great movie. Just kidding, or not. There's two ways. You will use AI and other guy. Sorry, you will not use AI. Other guy who knows everything like you will use it. Guess who will win? Who will win? I leave it to you. Human. Many humans with us, which is amazing still. And we'll sail for that, like that for sure, at least in travel. I hope so. Because everybody is talking already, and they're implementing, already our colleagues, not to mention names, but of course there are experienced travel veterans, and they're already implementing, vehicles, without drivers, AI guides, everything around it. Everything is already present heavily. But I mean, and I believe still that we will need humans in travel forever.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Sometimes Sarah said, when I pitch the new client, I find myself speaking like actually.
It's true.
It's
I've noticed people starting to use lots of kind of AI speak. It's very strange, but I think it's something we have to be vigilant about, actually, because we don't want it to shrink our language and our way of expressing ourselves.
Of course, we have to wrap up.
Yeah, sorry.
For the record, this is the longest episode, and I'm really glad because of that. Hopefully also the audience, because they are still here. And I will just wrap up with three things, okay, from your speech. First, AI does not know your voice unless you give it real inputs. Second, specificity. Specificity beats polish.
I've infected you.
Specificity beats polish. Details make travel copy believable. And third, use a simple human-first, a second checklist to fix drafts fast. Is this correct?
Gold star. Yeah, that's fantastic. And I love how I've just infected you, and you can't say specificity anymore. That's wonderful. I can say it now. Haha, I've given you the curse of not being able to say it.
Yeah. It's hard. We should all practice. Anyhow, Genevieve, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was a greatest pleasure to have you. Thank you for joining, for bringing your pure gold examples and the demo, and it was super practical. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on your show, Ivan. I've enjoyed every moment, and lovely to see such an engaged audience as well. Thank you all for being here.
Absolutely. So once again, if you want the free resource, Comment Human, Jenny will share it right after the session or afterwards. You can also DM to her with this, let's say, keyword. And just a short announcement, the next AI Tourism Talks will be obviously in March, in the second half. I'll share the guest and the exact date really soon. Once again, Jenny, thank you for joining us. All the attendees, thank you for being live. See you in the next one, and I wish you all the best. Cheers.